Listen, first of all, this shirt's supposed to have holes. And second of all, my hair looks the way it does because it's quarantine day month 2. You're gonna need rehab when you're done with this. Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm Alli Fitz, and I'm back with another video. And if you're new here, hello, I love you already. Make sure you slap that subscribe button to become part of the FITZFAM today. We pretty lit, it's true. My bun is coming apart. And once you've done that, make sure to follow my social medias over here to stay connected with your girl. And turn on those post notifications so you know all the tea first. Speaking of tea, my debut EP, Mental Notes, is now available on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music, all of them. So make sure you buy, stream, and download today. Because I'm telling you, I am always reposting people on my Instagram story, my YouTube story, my Twitter. Anybody who sends me a screenshot of them streaming, I'm just gonna repost it because that's what I do. I love to show love to those who show love to me. So be on the lookout because you might see yourself on my stories. But now that self-promo is out of the way, guys, it is Wednesday. You guys know I like to try different things on Wednesdays. And so last Wednesday, I reacted to like true animated stories, but this week, I'm gonna react to true animated scary stories. Yup, you know me, I love something scary. So this first one is called I Got a Phone Call and It Saved My Life. I had to watch it because I need to know what the phone call said. I need to know if I should get this phone call, if it's out here saving people's lives. Let's see.
This happened when I was working in customer service at one of the shoe brands. At that time, I was a hardworking woman. Actually,
sorry about these
pop-ups,
y'all.
It was really easy and I got promoted every time.
Okay, queen.
One day, my boss told me to work on the night shift because the one before me who got in the night shift was going to have a baby.
Oh,
so I replaced her since I was the employee of the month. Everything was fine until one night. It was late, so I thought that no one was going to call this late in the night. And then there was one call. I thought maybe the caller was in a different city, so there was a time difference. I quickly got the phone, and when I was about to say hello, there was a woman's voice saying, "Don't look at the windows. Go to the bathroom." I was confused.
Ma'am!
What was she talking about?
Elaborate.
"Excuse me, ma'am?" I answered, and she said again, "Hurry up if you want to survive." The voice was just calm,
is her room
and
gonna
then
blow
she
up?
hung up. I was curious about what was going on here.
She
so
said,
I glanced a little bit to the window.
She said, "Don't look at the window."
And there, I saw a man with crooked teeth and long, messy hair.
Oh my gosh, I was not ready for
He
that.
was in his 30s.
Ow.
He was smiling and holding a butcher knife in his hand. But what I was really curious about was how he got inside. It was the 5th floor, and we all needed our ID card to enter the building.
How did he?
I was so scared that moment.
I have questions.
So I didn't have any other choice.
I'll wait.
But quickly went into the bathroom and hid.
Oh my gosh.
But then I heard a glass cracking sound. That man was breaking into the office.
He be scaring me.
The good thing was, although I left my phone at the desk, I was wearing my Apple Watch. I quickly called the police, so they arrived in a hurry.
Thank the Lord.
Then they found a butcher knife inside the building.
She
But they
almost
couldn't
died.
find the guy because he ran away when we all heard the siren. After that, I quickly quit my job and moved to another city where my brother works and lives. But what freaks me out every time was that woman's voice on the line that day. The voice still gives me the creeps. I never work night shift and go to that city ever again.
Me either. Do not jump scare me. I don't have the time. So my question is, how the heck did she see him out the window if she was on the 5th floor? I'll leave you with that. This next one is called Never Be Alone When You Enter the Restroom. I had to watch it because I enter the restroom every day here by myself. So is it public restrooms only or? Ooh,
one day, I got a call from a few friends of mine about going to the mall.
His voice is
It was a stressful week at work, so I thought some retail therapy would definitely help. We ended up shopping for a few hours, so we decided that hitting the food court
I can't
would
with
be the spot.
his voice for her.
I gave the girls my order, and I told them I would come back and find them as I needed them after I used the restroom.
No. Ladies go to the bathroom
at the end
together.
of the large and wide corridor.
In public.
They were your typical mall type with lots of stalls. Anyway, so I sat down to use the bathroom. and I could see from the gap on the floor between the wall of the stall and the floor. Lots of movement from someone's shadow. I wasn't sure if they were getting changed or not, so I didn't pay attention at first. But it felt like the shadow was coming from above at some points. You know, as if the light above was being obstructed by something. After maybe the third time, I decided to look up and I could see a phone and parts of a guy's arm.
Are you serious? Sir!
Someone was taking photos of me. I instantly shouted out, "What are you doing, you pervert?"
Yeah.
And in a moment of sheer shock and disbelief, this all very quickly turned into fear as I got up and leaped out of the stall and was greeted by an empty bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Not one person was in sight. And from the quick glance of the mirrors opposite, there was only one stall shut, and it was the one next to me.
Oh, there you go.
I ran for the restroom exit, but it was locked. Luckily, it had a twist lock, and I could turn it as I did. I heard the stall open from behind me.
Oh my God.
I got out immediately and turned as I exited and noticed a sign on the door saying, "Closed for maintenance." This sign was not here when I went in.
Oh my God.
I screamed some more,
lock her in.
shouting to get anyone's attention as I ran down the corridor toward the food hall, and had obviously caught the attention of a few people.
Yikes.
A group of 3 guys stopped me and clearly could see the panic in my eyes. They asked me questions and I explained. 2 guys ran toward the ladies' restroom, and one to find security.
Some real ones. They some real ones.
Security arrived within seconds. After a while, a rather large crowd had gathered due to the commotion. And although I was in the comfort of my friends, security, and now the police, I'd never felt so alone. Security and police, nor 2 guys found anyone. There was a few staff only, and fire exit doors opened down the corridor, so plenty of escape routes for whoever this guy was.
Wow.
I gave my statements down at the station later that day once my parents showed up.
He left.
The police said they had security tapes from the cameras that point down the corridor and will keep us updated with any news. Hopefully,
this is probably
they
true.
find this guy.
I thought he was going to jump scare me. Wow, that was probably true. People out here nasty like that. So this next one is called, "I met the most horrible guy on the road." All right, let me see how rude he was. First of all, what are these fingers doing? He's like, okay, let's start.
So before getting into the story itself, I want to give some backstory on something that happened when I was around the age of 9.
Okay.
I grew up in a village called Hotlax in the northern parts of Sweden.
Okay, Sweden.
The road leading from my
where?
school to my home was a long one, where the local authorities had to put up lamps which emitted a very dim blue light. I always felt like a nervous wreck when I had to walk to and from my school.
I would too in the dark.
Both because,
9
even
years
with the
old.
lamps, the road was very dark.
My mom would never.
And also because I was bullied, so the bullies could have waited in the woods right next to the road. It was one event that I remembered vividly during the winter of 1999.
Ooh.
I'd slept poorly the night before and the math lesson had been killing me, so I barely felt awake when I was beginning to walk home. The lamps were off, which isn't really so weird, as the sensors for the lamps were pretty low, so any kid could have taken a flashlight, put it towards the sensors,
now, why would
and
they
after
do
a few
that?
seconds, the lamps would shut down for a few minutes.
Oh,
Since I was so tired, I'd closed my eyes when I started walking. But after walking about 20 meters on this road, I opened my eyes and noticed that the lamps were off, and I stopped.
Uh-oh.
I was getting nervous. I was reasoning with myself and decided to push on.
This is when it gets scary, y'all. Get
I was
ready.
10, and in my youthful arrogance, I thought I had reached the age where my balls should have been as hard as Duke Nukem's. Hotlax is a very quiet village, so I was barely hearing anything except the wind when this happened.
Uh-oh.
To the left of the road is a very thick forest.
Ooh, thick!
And suddenly I
Juicy.
could just hear this loud scream coming from it. It was very similar to the male scream you can hear in movies when someone's in huge pain.
That was a loud scream.
With the speed of Usain Bolt, I ran as fast as I could towards my home without looking back.
Period.
Now we're jumping to late autumn 2011.
Okay.
My parents were on a trip to the Canary Islands and asked me to move into their house just for the week so I could take care of the dog.
Aw.
The thought of spending a whole week in my old room, listening to my old Mayhem CDs and eating pizza were just too good to be true.
Ooh, I'm getting some.
I always walked with my dog outside during midnight, because then I didn't have to take him outside again until the late morning hours. This time was no different, except I decided to walk a bit longer. I decided to walk along Oxelvägen and then follow Inimarksvägen towards Norra Hotlagsvägen. There are no lamps on the most parts of Inimarksvägen, so after leaving Oxelvägen, I stopped. I lit a cigar and told my dog to stay close to me. While walking along the road, I was just enjoying the fresh air and listening to the sound of leaves rustling in the trees. There's a pretty big area next to the road where they have chopped down a lot of trees. When I came to that area, my dog stopped and started barking towards the area I described.
You know animals know. They know.
When I looked towards the area, I could see the silhouette of a person. The only visible parts were the hands.
Why is he doing
that? I said,
that?
"What the hell?" with a pretty loud voice.
He's supposed to be doing that. He doing that.
The person turned around towards me. If I didn't know any better, I could have sworn that only the head and hands turned, as I didn't see any movements at all on the rest of the body.
Messed up.
A white mask. The guy was wearing a white mask with a slit for each of his eyes. My dog started whimpering.
The dog know.
The guy raised his right hand, with all of his fingers pointing towards me, and he screamed.
Why? Why are you screaming at me like that?
It sounded like the exact same scream I'd heard as a kid, walking home from school that afternoon. What must have been survival instincts, I just started running.
Yep, as you should. Flight or, what is it, fight or flight? He flew.
When I had ran for 20 meters or so, I stopped to see if my dog was still with me.
The dog's like, you gonna leave me, bro?
She was.
You left me.
And then looked towards the spot the guy had stood. He wasn't there. He had moved to the spot where I stood, now with his hands down, but the mask still towards me.
No ma'am, no sir.
I started running again until I got to Norra Hotlagsvägen.
Demon.
I'd never been so scared before. When I stopped, I was crying and my whole body was shaking. And then I walked home.
That's it? Oh my gosh. This next one is called True Disturbing Neighbor Horror Story. I hope, well, it says it's true, so let's find out. What did the neighbor do? Look.
There used to be a young couple next door to me.
That voice again.
Every other night, you could hear them arguing and fighting about something.
Yikes. T.
Probably drugs, as a lot of shady characters would visit their house to deliver something.
The gossip.
One night,
wow.
They had a really bad fight. Much worse than usual.
Ooh.
You could hear them both shouting and crying and
not his fist
something
up.
hitting the wall. And then suddenly the shouting stopped.
Oh no.
Just completely stopped. No more noise whatsoever and just nothing.
Oh, he killed her. Is
I looked
what
out the window.
I'm gathering.
With the lights out. Just to see if I could see anything out the ordinary. About 15 minutes after the fighting, a black van pulled up outside.
Y'all.
And 4 hooded men got out and went inside.
You see him in the window?
About an hour later, I could see the men and the neighbor carrying something into the van. It looked like large black trash bags.
That's the girl.
I phoned the police about what just went on and what I witnessed. They visited the next door neighbor and questioned the man.
Bruh.
Apparently his girlfriend just left and decided to never come back.
Just left. Oh, I believe
this. She never
this.
went missing or anything. She just left. I never believed it. I swear to this day he killed her.
Oh yeah.
And they somehow got rid of the body. Nearly a year later, the man next door died of a drug overdose.
Oh my gosh.
And we never found out the truth.
Well, we know the truth. We know what happened. She didn't disappear. And since it is indeed April Fool's Day, I had to end with an April Fool's Day video. So this one is called True April Fool's Horror Story Animated. That is a mouthful, but that is what it's called. Let's do it. I don't play around with April Fool's Day because I am gullible, so I'll believe it all.
It was April 1st, 2001. I was at home watching TV when I heard a big bang on my back door.
Ooh.
I didn't know who or what it was. Thought it was a raccoon or something. So I kept watching TV. I will never forget what I heard. Someone whispered, "I am coming for you." I turned to see who it was, but no one was there. I went outside and yelled, "Who's there?" I went back inside, and then I saw it. It was a man with a white rabbit mask holding a kitchen knife. I ran to the kitchen and grabbed a knife and turned on the light. The guy took off his mask, and it was my friend, Fred. I was relieved.
Fred, you played too much, Fred.
"April Fools." I asked how he managed to get so far when he whispered in my ear. He looked confused. To my surprise, he said, "I never whispered in your ear."
Ouch. Oh my God.
That's when I knew something was in my house. I told Fred to hide and call the cops. When the cops got there, they saw a man with long black hair robbing stuff from my house.
Oh my God.
He had a pistol and some pocket knives. The cops told me he had broke out of prison a couple days before the incident.
I hate when they jump scare like that. That's not funny. I don't play around, but anyways, if you enjoyed this video and want me to react to some more scary stories like that, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let everybody know about this scary tea. If those stories were actually true, I feel bad for some of those people. And don't forget to buy, stream, and download my EP, Mental Notes. It does indeed slap. So have a great day in the name of the Lord, and may God bless you every step.